Hello, welcome. No? Testing?
Yeah, so as long as the green light's on,
Hello?
let's see if they turn it off.
Hello?
Ah,
Testing? Can people hear me in the back? Am I too loud? Not yet, anyway. Welcome, graduates, friends, family, faculty, to the 2023 iSchool graduation reception. Um, Congratulations, graduates. My name is Alan Woodward. I am professor and current director of the Information School, and I am going to start this reception by introducing Rebecca Willett for a land acknowledgement.
The UW-Madison resides on the ancestral lands of the Ho-Chunk Nation, an area indigenous people have called Dejo, or Four Lakes, for approximately 12,000 years. During your time at UW-Madison, two canoes were retrieved from what we now call Lake Mendota. One was approximately 1,200 years old. The other was 3,000 years old. So again, UW-Madison resides on the ancestral lands of the Ho-Chunk Nation. In the 1800s, this land was forcibly and illegally taken from the Ho-Chunk people. They were removed west and they returned again. And they were removed and they returned again and again because this land is so meaningful to them. We know that the Ho-Chunk and the 11 other tribal nations of what we now call Wisconsin are resilient and in the process of recovery and still here. I know that many of you have enjoyed the beauty of this land, this place, from inside the iSchool library in the Bungie room, outside on the Memorial Union Terrace maybe. So I want to acknowledge the wisdom of the Ho-Chunk and their ancestors who stewarded this land for thousands of years, and also the work that I need to do as a UW-Madison scholar to understand my relationship to this land and to the tribal nations. And because I believe that these words need to be followed by action, and because you are all information professionals, I've included a short URL that takes you to more information about the Native nations of what we now call Wisconsin. So I invite you to continue your learning through these resources.
Thank you, Rebecca. Listeners, I need to say a quick thank you to Tanya Hendricks-Curran for providing me with reading glasses that I forgot in my office. Not that in between stage where I'm not used to carrying around all the time, but this year's graduation marks several very important things. First, and most obviously, recognizes the hard work of our graduates who have deployed and developed their considerable talents over the past several years. Second, it's a chance for all of us, students and faculty, to recognize the friends, families, and loved ones who've encouraged, supported, and cared for the graduates along the way. No one gets to this point, to graduating from a place like UW, without a network of people and a community who've helped them pave the way. This is something that you all have to be proud of, and something for which we are very thankful for. Third, this is our first fully combined graduation ceremony. In fall 2021, the iSchool welcomed its first cohort of MS Information students. Some of that cohort graduated this past December, but many more are here from that first group today. Congratulations, MS Information graduates. You can give a round of applause. I saw several people maybe lots of occasions for applause, so don't hold back. In fall 2022, this academic year, the iSchool launched its first bachelor's degree program in information science. We're very excited. We have 100 majors. They're not all graduating now, but we do have a few undergraduate majors graduating tomorrow and with us today. So congratulations, bachelor's recipients as well. We have two graduates this year, working on a master's in this year. We'll get to Eric later, but we can give a short applause here. It's not your favorites. And finally, we have, of course, our wonderful group of MALAS students, both online and on campus. That's the biggest group of graduates here, our longest standing program, and the ones that we have been our graduates for decades, and they are here as well. Congratulations, MALAS graduates. The next important thing that I'd like to comment on today is not a graduation. Rather, I want to mark that this is not about graduation per se, but it is Deb Shapiro's last graduation reception before retirement. It's not a retirement party. Rather, this is sort of the first stop on Deb's retirement tour. There will be a number of occasions. It's a tour of various stops around campus and community. It's something for which something you richly deserve. That's next week, but I do want to say a couple of things because Deb is such a deep part of our community. So first, I can't sing all of her praises, but I can sing a couple. First, Deb's been part of the iSchool faculty since 2000, and since 2006, she's been the key person in developing, advocating for, and managing our online MALAS degree. The online program has been enormously successful, and it's a deep part of what we do and who we are. That success and its central role and its central part of who we are was not inevitable at all. Some people. It took some of us time to come around to online education, to embrace it and to understand the value there. Deb has been a tireless, talented, energetic, and enthusiastic steward of the program. She helped build the initial version of the program. She's moved numerous courses online over the past 15 plus years. She's developed and organized and run the Welcome Boot Camp for students. And perhaps most importantly, Deb's ensured that our online on-campus programs are in fact one degree, with curriculum, students, instructors, and community that work together. The online program is a cornerstone of the iSchool, and her work to help build it has been part of groundwork for all of these other initiatives, including the MS Information degree and the undergraduate degree along the way. Now, it's not her retirement party, but I hope you will join me in thanking Deb for making possible everything that we do. Thanks, Deb. She's over there, looking embarrassed. All of these things, the new programs, Deb's retirement, her role in building our programs, help set the stage for me to introduce this year's iSchool Distinguished Alumni, Michelle Bassant. Give her a quick round there. Michelle has 3 degrees from UW. After completing her MA in English, she graduated from the iSchool first with her MA LAS degree, and then she completed her PhD. She joined the faculty at Florida State University before coming back here, wisely. To be the senior special librarian and director of the iSchool, then SLIS Laboratory Library, and then she was the associate director of the iSchool until her retirement in 2019. Her accomplishments in these roles and other roles are numerous, but I want to highlight just a couple to give you a sense of where Michelle is coming from. Michelle was the founder of the iSchool General Library Group during her time as a master's student. That program that she started continues today. It's been recognized as the U.S. Presidential Point of Light in 1999. So she has developed a program that's with us today and it's been here for well over 20 years. Michelle has also been a key person in building the iSchool's Tribal Libraries, Archives, and Museums program. And to give a sense of this, I want to quote Professor and Director Emeritus Louise Robbins. Michelle was one of the staff members who helped facilitate the student-originated Tribal Libraries, Archives, and Museums class and program in 2008. Late-night driving, grant proposal writing, teaching summer fieldwork, doing mentoring and evaluation all helped the TLAM program develop into a collection of long-term relationships and many conferences, bringing together tribal cultural workers across Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin, providing rare opportunities for information school students with others, With others, she presented on the iSchool's emphasis on community engagement as a key element in our curriculum, and she remains engaged with the TLAM program and enables mine, Louise's, participation in it today. Michelle's contribution in developing the TLAM program is important, and this year we've finally been able to hire a TLAM coordinator to help make that program sustainable over the long haul, but it would not be here be in its current form without Michelle's considerable contributions over time. And I want to emphasize some of Professor Robbins' words here because they point to some of Michelle's qualities as a colleague, as a mentor, as a friend. Michelle is a person who evenly, steadily, and enthusiastically just gets stuff done. She is a person who builds and cultivates community, creates a space for other people to contribute their talents. It's quiet work, not attention grabbing, but it's vital. And I know many people here value it tremendously. And speaking of that quiet and vital work, Michelle's time as Associate Director has included time doing some key work during lean and frankly difficult years. Her understanding of budgets, her ability to build consensus and ensure all voices are heard is absolutely crucial in helping the iSchool remain a well-functioning unit providing excellent educational programs when resources were thin on the ground. In fact, we were just joking about what graduation looked like 10 years ago. It was very different. And Michelle was vital in holding things together and making things work well. That's the definition of unglamorous work, but it's absolutely vital, and Michelle is fantastic at it. She's also been a key person in the iSchool recognizing unmet educational needs in Wisconsin and at UW generally. She saw the value of the online program along with Deb. She is one of the iSchool faculty who drew up our initial proposals for the undergraduate information science degree back in 2015. And she saw the need for and value of an information science MS degree. As former director Christian Eschenfelder writes, Michelle helped develop ideas and consensus around these initiatives and always made sure every voice was heard. There's a lot more I could say here. I promised Michelle I'd keep it short. I don't know if I have. But what I want to close is about Michelle's mark on the program. A big part of her mark is her ability to build community, to recognize needs, and to make connections. As part of the Distinguished Alumni nomination process, we receive statements from colleagues, alumni, and friends. Michelle's advocates point out lots of qualities and provide lots of examples of her good deeds. Lot too many to quote here, but every single one of them talks about Michelle's attention to student needs, her compassion, her empathy, and the depth of care for everyone in the community. There's no question that Michelle is a deep and indelible part of the iSchool. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce my colleague, mentor, and friend, Michelle Bisson, as this year's iSchool Distinguished Alumni.
Good afternoon. So I was wildly surprised when I was invited to be here for this honor. And immediately I had lots of people running through my head that I consider truly distinguished alums, including a number of people in this room. So really what happened was I was very startled and as a result, not the least bit gracious. So I'd like you to consider this my do-over, okay? So I do want to thank the nominators who put the award going, and then the alumni board, thank you, who actually said, oh yeah, that's an okay idea. And I do want to thank, of course, Alan and Nikki, Kristen, and Tanya for their graciousness. They had some. And the problem is I could go on and on and on because my experience and so much of my career being back at this school, it is a special place to me and so many people that are here. So I do just want to say today, sort of sum it up, to thank all of my former colleagues at the iSchool because really they were the best of colleagues. And I do mean it. Graduates, I have to say, if you land with such hardworking, smart, creative, and forward-thinking people, you're really lucky. I like to think, too, that we did do a lot of good work together, including the decision and the process into the possibilities of continuing to grow SLIS, the School of Library and Information Studies, into the Information School. And this was not always an easy process. We disagreed often, but we did always listen, and we never forgot our core values. And that, I think, I have ongoing gratitude for, because if there was ever a time for educating information professionals who will work towards a more equitable, just, and just plain livable world, this is it. I also applaud the ongoing work of all the faculty and staff here, the new ones as well as the continuing, because really look at what you've done. This has become a vibrant and exciting iSchool, and soon there are the opportunities of the new CETUS building. And I know that impending move is not easy in some ways, but the iSchool has literally outgrown the space on the 4th floor of Helen C. White. And I personally love that the information school is moving into the most sustainable building on campus. That's actually a distinction I hope it doesn't hold for long, because we need a lot more of those. So, all of that said, I am truly happy to be here today because I like celebrating graduation, especially this graduation. And I'm not going to read you some of my words because Alan already talked about the fact that we have all of these MA and LIS, Masters and PhD students, woohoo, my degree, so I'm a little biased, but also some of these earliest Masters of Information and these very first Information Science graduates. So congratulations, all graduates. You did it. Breathe. Yes, you are really graduating. You did it. But like Alan, I must also say, congratulations, family and friends of graduates. You did it. And of course, congratulations, iSchool faculty and staff, and the many partners of the school. You did it. Because you see, I firmly believe that graduation is really a high pass on a very labor-intensive group project. Now, I also like being here today as it's reassuring to me that the future is in good hands. Now, how do I know that? You may say, I don't actually know many of the graduates here today, very few, in fact. But the truth is, I know some very important things about y'all. First of all, I know you had the good sense to choose the iSchool UW-Madison for your studies. I know that you've spent a number of years working hard to learn and grow many possibilities. And I know you know about the Wisconsin idea. And when you put these things together, I know you have the perseverance and the resilience, the head and the heart to tackle the challenges of today. There are plenty of challenges. On this day of celebration, I won't dwell on the list. Still, I know you can't be a thinking person today and not feel overwhelmed by the challenges at times. And because you are well educated, ironically, you are even more aware of all the things you don't know. As information people, you are perhaps especially aware that you will always be making decisions without enough information. It's so easy to fall into that trap of, when I've studied more of this, I'll be ready for that job, or that move, or that next promotion. I know you are ready already. And as you face your next steps, when you take them, you will know in a new way also. Yes, I am ready. And certainly, leadership means making decisions. I know you are leaders, formal or informal. If you don't already, Think of yourself as a leader and feel it. We are in an era that needs leaders. We have way too much that is broken. Just look at the planet. As you go forth, as librarians or archivists, information managers, UX experts, or web designers, or, one of the things about an information degree today is that it has many directions and highly transferable skills. But whatever path you are on, as you come out of the iSchool, UW-Madison, you are a part of a continuity of generations of leaders. And yes, you know that leadership, as well as life, is a group project. No one does it alone. Lastly, before you leave town, or maybe before you resume dailiness in the area, go up Observatory Drive, past Bascom Hill, up to the high point by the actual old observatory building. If you have never taken the time, note the Indian mounds there and the peace tree. They are a good reminder of the thousands of years that people have inhabited this special place, and a testament to the complicated history of land-grant universities. But the spot also provides an awing overlook when you face Lake Mendota, a beautiful view that I think you'll find sets a little anchor in your heart. And I hope as well you find a flicker of happiness and a perspective, a sense of possibilities that you carry into the fray of doing the challenging work I know you will do. Remember that you are now and forevermore a part of the story here, and you are ever a part of the iSchool family. I thank you, graduates, knowing as you step up, and much sooner than you think take over, that you will do so as what Elfrida Chapman, with whom I was a colleague at FSU, would call good people. Dr. Chapman helped the field look at information behavior from a larger perspective. If you don't know her work, look it up. I know you know how to do that. Warm well wishes, and again, congratulations.
We have another small ceremony here. We have a couple of PhD graduates this year. That is, students who have spent a number of years with in the status in working on a particular project to produce a novel piece of scholarship. One of those is not joining us today, Philip Romero Masters, whose dissertation was a qualitative study of self-determination theory and cybersecurity using autonomous framing. Congratulations, Philip, even though he's not here. Second, I would like to ask Eric and Wiesman to come join us up here at the podium. There are all kinds of little academic rituals that happen in various ways, and one is a hooding ceremony where I'm not sure what the symbolism of the hood is, but it's I don't know, what do I know? But this is an important moment when the PhD graduate joins the community of accomplished scholars, and his dissertation advisor, Rebecca Willett, will present Eric with his academic hood.
So I am so pleased to have Dr. Eric Ledesma standing next to us as colleagues. This is not Dr. Ledesma's first graduation at UW-Madison. He received his bachelor's degree from here, his MALIS degree from this program, and now his PhD. So he is trifecta badger, right? Super badger powers. We've been so fortunate to have Eric with us during these different parts of his academic journey, and particularly his doctoral studies. Eric's dissertation is entitled First Generation College Students, Academic Libraries, and Social Reproduction, a case study of a university library system. You'll never guess which system he studied in the pandemic. Dr. Ely Ledesma did in-depth field work with first-generation college students in and around academic libraries, and he identified some really just interesting, insightful themes. Perceptions of academic libraries as anxiety-inducing spaces, as sites of assurance and comfort as well, and also thinking about the relationship between students' backgrounds and their perceptions and uses of academic libraries. Dr. Elie Ledesma wrestled with theories from French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu to understand first-generation college students' experiences of academic libraries. He created just an incredibly insightful, masterful analysis of his very rich set of data. One of Dr. Elie Ledesma's examiners was so impressed with his application of Bourdieu, she said she clapped while reading his dissertation. That does not happen, folks. Dr. Elie Ledesma, you have outlined some very ambitious future research. I look forward to seeing publications from your dissertation and working with you in the future as a colleague in the field. And now I will do the official hooding of Eric, which really signifies the great achievement Eric has achieved during his doctoral studies.
I want to recognize in turn each of the separate classes of people who are graduating with us today. So, did any of our undergraduate majors actually make it to join us in this ceremony? Yes. Please stand up so that we can recognize you. And I know it may be a little embarrassing, but it's whatever. You have the honor of being the first undergraduate information science major at UW-Madison. Thank you. Did any, well, I know there are many, will the MS Information master's students please stand up so that we can recognize you? Yes, don't be shy. We all, and your friends and parents, want to recognize you. Did, yeah, you can sit down. Did any online students make it in person? Yes! There's a couple, several. So, up here as well. Congratulations. And now we're on campus MA area students. We need to stand so that we can recognize you. Now I want to make sure that regardless of sitting, the friends, family, and supporters and community of these graduates, please stand up so that we can thank you. I would like to invite all of you to take pictures in front of the faculty and staff to make themselves available to have pictures with graduates in front of our backdrop out in the hallway. And I want to encourage you to continue enjoying our refreshments. And I look forward to talking with you at the rest of the reception. Congratulations again, and go celebrate.